let's assume that most of our audience didn't get an MBA. Boil it down for us a little bit.
Yeah, and when I was going into my MBA, what I wanted to learn was two things: how to create value, how to make something that people would want to buy, and how to lead people. And an MBA is about management, and so it's not about leadership. And it's after the fact that an entrepreneur made something valuable in the marketplace. And so it really didn't teach me the things that I felt were most important. It is management. It's a useful tool for someone that's going to be a mid-level manager in a big corporation, because the rules for leadership in a big company is very different than what I call entrepreneurial leadership. You can't lead as an entrepreneur the way you do in a corporation. You will not succeed. So I found this organization in California. I was always the why guy. People would give me advice. And when you start a business, everybody gives you conflicting advice, and they do it with such certainty. It's really, it's really difficult. And so I would just get in the habit with people when they would tell me what I should do. I'd say, tell me why that works. And most people can't. They just will tell you, oh, just do it. It works. And it's like, yeah, I'm not that guy. So I wanted to know, the fundamentals. I didn't know how to say it that way, but that's what I wanted. I wanted the most fundamental interpretations. And I had a friend at the time in my CEO group, and he told me, you keep asking why, you should join this program. It was called Hecht & Associates at the time. It's since changed to the AGI network. They teach entrepreneurship, innovation, and leadership. And that had a dramatic effect on my life. The fundamental premise of their education is that our notion, the cultural understanding of what succeeds in business came from the Industrial Revolution. It was cross-appropriated from the military. So it's a thing-based coercive model for organizing people. It's 140 years old, and this forms the truth for most of us. It's in our DNA and a muscle about this is how you run business. And it's crap. And what they said is, if you instead think about a business as a network of commitments among human beings, it changes everything. And so they sort of So it's a network of commitments. And it is very deep. This comes from work by Fernando Flores, and he talks about the atom of work. And if you think about what's the smallest unit of work, and most people would say a task.
Okay.
That's a thing-based orientation to work. What Fernando Flores said was, if you look at it, that the smallest unit of work is a promise, a fulfilled promise, it changes how you work with people. It changes the nature of work.
Okay. Is a task just a fulfilled promise, or is there a difference?
A task is a mechanism for someone to fulfill their promise. But if you and I have a customer fulfiller relationship, you don't really care what I'm doing. You care what the result is.
Yeah.
And if I promise the result, the task, you should leave that to me, and I should be able to figure that out. And the problem, there are so many more breakdowns that occur through miscommunication and poor collaboration. We're very bad at...
Hi, I'm Bud Leiser, host of the Time Compass Show. As an SMB leader, do you feel that recruiting drags on, salaries keep rising, and your team is already stretched thin? And what if your best employee quit today? You need a backup plan, my friend. Your local talent is scarce, and those costs keep rising. Did you try outsourcing and remote staffing before, and it didn't work? That's because they promised you associate-level talent, but secretly hire fresh graduates and sold them to learn on your dime. But not with us. We specialize in staffing professionals with over 5 years of real industry experience. Think about it. No more juniors means no more babysitting for you. Less time onboarding, less time training, and faster team integration. Imagine no additional tax forms, insurance forms, and labor compliance with your next hires. And did you know that staffing with us can save you 30% just on federal taxes and employee benefits? So what are you waiting for? Are you ready to start saving time and money? Then schedule a call today and let's become your top choice for top global talent. Just go to budleiser.com and click outsource. That's BUDLEISER.com.
So it turns out when I started learning this, and there's a whole discourse about this called Conversations for Action. It's a structure for how we coordinate through language, because language is about coordinating. That's what it's always been about. That's why it was invented a million years ago, so that we could coordinate effectively. And we don't see language. It's so basic. It's like water and fish, and we're not very skillful at it. And once you learn this and watch organizations, you will see over and over again how the way that they coordinate through language and commitments is broken. People are terrible with requests. They make poor requests. People don't have an opportunity to negotiate. You know, if the boss tells them to do it, that person is going to go like, that'll never happen. But he says yes, right? We all have done that.
Yeah.
Our boss tells us to do something. We go like, in our mind, we're like, it's never going to happen. And then we say, yes, boss. There's no negotiation. And then people do not fulfill a lot or fulfill poorly. Anyway, so that's a network of commitments among human beings.
Well, thank you. You've been listening to the Time Compass Show with Bud Leiser. I hope our compass has shown you a better way forward. Now, if you've enjoyed this episode, I dare you not to like and not to subscribe. And I definitely double dare you not to share this episode with 2 of your friends who you know that would love this show. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, cheers.